of the Ludington Police Department. Today's a pretty big deal because not only did they have the pie auction about, 2 weeks ago now? Time flies pretty quickly.
2 weeks ago today.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
And they raised over $20,000 for the Shop with a Cop and Shop with a Hero program. Now it's another opportunity for people to step up. And the goal, $4,500. I know $20,000 versus $4,500, but you're not dealing with 131 pies. You're dealing with 2 halves of a pig and a quarter of a cow. And Sergeant Habman is in the studio with us to chat about this morning. Good morning to you, sir, and thanks for coming in.
Good morning to you as well.
Let's talk about the background of this event first. It's a first because West Shore Bank surprised the Ludington Police Department. Take us through those details, and then we'll talk about how people can bid on these items today.
Yeah, so I was working on Halloween, and I got a phone call from West Shore Bank that said that they had these items and wanted to know if there's anything that we could do with them, the police department could do with them.
Yeah, let's pull up your mic closer to your mouth there. There you go, so
better?
people can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
My apologies.
No, it's okay.
So West Shore Bank got a hold of us, asked me if there's something that we could do with them. I contacted the chief, and we came up with the idea that we could auction them off and use the proceeds from that auction.
Wave at one of your fellow. There he goes. He's listening to you.
him.
Yep. And driving by out there. And we
I
got
think
people
they
honking,
honked.
waving. Yeah, this is great. So hey, could we auction them off, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we auction them off, and what could we use the proceeds for? Chief Jones said, hey, why don't we use those proceeds to partner with the food club and help the families with some food security at this time of the year. So we talked with the people at West Shore Bank, and we came up with this plan. I know it's kind of new, but we wanted to wait till after the pie auction because that's really the bread and butter for our Shop with a Cop program,
Right.
and we didn't want to interfere with that. So we introduced it. I was here the Friday after Thanksgiving. I think it was Janelle's birthday, so she wasn't here.
Yep.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Yeah, she
That's
missed
good.
that.
All right.
Sorry.
So she's late to this conversation.
Yes,
but,
a little.
yeah.
It's all right.
But happy late birthday.
Oh, thank
There
you.
So we kicked it off then, and West Shore Bank has done some advertising. We've done some advertising, and what we've done, Chris, is switched the Shop with the Cop pie auction to Pigs for a Cause auction. So we're going to be auctioning off, like you said, 2 halves of a pig and a quarter of a beef. The auction is starting at noon today, and it's going to run till 6 p.m. tomorrow. And I know it's the Ludington Police Department doing this, but what we did is we are naming each item that we're auctioning off to correspond with a school in Mason County, just so everybody knows that the benefit to the auction is for families across Mason County and not just Ludington.
All right.
Cool.
And with 3 items that are up for auction starting today, your goal is $4,500. And if you meet that goal, even before you meet that goal, there's kind of an initial goal, and then there's a secondary goal. Take us through that if you don't mind.
So partnering with the food club, what we have done is there's an agreement that if we can make $750, we can provide the monthly membership to the families for the food club. So each family that's involved with Shop with a Cop, and that's about 75, would get a certificate, so they would be able to go to the food club. So it's paid for. That month is January would be paid for, so they could go there and shop in January and buy their food from there. Then the next kind of discussion that was had was, what if we can do $4,500? And that number came up because the food club would waive the $10 membership for the month, and then it's about $60 for a family of 4 to be given some food security. So $60 for a month for each family would provide a family of 4 some food security for that month. So January, the burden of the winter and inflation and the holidays would kind of be removed from the family for a month, and just have that security and kind of bless those families.
Your thoughts about that?
I think it sounds like a good idea. I mean, I think that the people struggle with expenses. We have a lot of hunger going on, whether it's kids and stuff like that. I mean, we've dealt with Safe Harbor. What else was there? West Shore Bank, stuff like that. So I think it's definitely a good idea to auction this off, and it's like $4,500. And you get like a huge, I mean, either a half a pig, another half of a pig, a cow. I mean, you get something out of it instead of, like, I don't want to downsize Shop with a Cop, but I mean, you get a huge, that beef or cow or pig could go towards anything. I mean, bacon, ground beef or all that, and it's already processed, ready to go. And I mean, that $4,500 that is raised, I mean, that's 75 families that you can feed. That's amazing.
Correct. That's it can have a really big impact for a lot of people.
Right.
So this isn't, Shop with a Cop is great. I love the program. I've signed up to go, both nights that the police department are participating in the shopping. I look forward to it.
Right.
It's great to have that interaction with the kids and really help those kids and kind of be part of, the Christmas season for them. I mean, that's really great. But this is a family approach. So we're going in, we're helping the entire family. And it's not just putting food in your stomach. You're also providing some stress relief. The parents aren't having to worry about where they're going to get their next meal or how they're going to feed their family. This is helping the entire family. So we can help 75 families in Mason County for an entire month for $4,500.
And let's just clarify as well for the listeners there. We're not looking for one person or one organization or one business to say, hey, I've got to pony up $4,500. This is 3 different items. If you could average about $1,500 per item if you wanted to split it right for everybody there. You could take and say to your coworkers, hey, you know what? Let's all pool this in. If you've got 15 coworkers, or you've got 100 coworkers, this doesn't necessarily have to be something where you win it and then you divide it among everybody. You could even go one step further for the cause, and that is donated to the Lakeshore Food Club, because these items were processed by Sanders Meats, and with Sanders Meats being a commercial processor, that makes it eligible for the Lakeshore Food Club to accept it. And that will help even more families and more individuals out there. So this is such a good cause to get behind. And when you think about it, it's like, okay, what can we do? Can we get 30 of our coworkers today to pony up $50, or 15 at $100, or and split everything? Can you get the business, which I would assume that we're creeping in on a tax write-off potentially for this as an auction for a nonprofit, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so lots of opportunity here. And yes, it's a little bit of a different tradition than the pie auction. The pie auction will be back next year and year after year after year. But it's potentially raising money for 75 families, putting meat in your freezer or other coworkers or friends' freezers, or if you want to donate it back to the food club, you can do that. You're taking care of memberships, which I know $10 or $13 or $16, depending on the tier level for the Lakeshore Food Club for that particular family and how many people they have. That is still a lot for many families that are suffering out there. So when you get to this auction today, this is where, yes, it's new. It's something that, we don't know what to expect from it. Maybe a couple thousand comes from it. Maybe 10,000 comes from it. We're not going to be sure. But it's the effort that's going to go a long way. And maybe when it starts at noon today and goes until 6 o'clock tomorrow, that there's enough time for people out there, especially like in a Facebook group that has about 1,800 to 1,900 members, and we've put that link on our YouTube and our Facebook page so you can join that group, that maybe we can get 100 people to donate and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna all go into this together. And I could see that happening by 6:00 tomorrow. I was like, hey, you get all these people that are saying, hey, I'm going to donate $20 or $50 or whatever, and that can even add up to make a difference to that $4,500.
Yeah, that would be amazing. $4,500 is our goal. If we can exceed it, that'd be great. But we'll take any donations, anybody willing to give. If you're looking to, you have somebody on your Christmas list that you can't find out or figure out what to get them, you can donate money in their name, and get them the chance to be part of helping the community and helping families.
Right.
And and we have, this can be an idea. I'm just doing some math here. There is.
I appreciate you doing it, so I don't have to.
No, it's all right. Well, there's 2,030 people in the Facebook group, right? That I see there online. And so, at calculator there, I wish I had my Alexa still in the studio, but I don't. Let's say that everybody donated $25. That's $50,000.
Wow.
And so for $25, and I bet 2,030 people. Now we're not going to get 100% of it, but to donate. But 2,030 people committing to $25, which is probably doable, would take care of this. So there's alternate ways to get to the 4,500 or past the 4,500. But I'm telling you right now, if by tomorrow morning, Janelle, you and I are talking about this, and and we're not even scratching the surface on getting to that $4,500, then we might have to talk about different ways to do this. And so I just want people to be ready for a challenge if that happens, because $25, we could make that happen, and do that. And then I'm guaranteeing you that 2,030 people can say, hey, you know what? I got $25. We'll give that, and then donate all of it to the Lakeshore Food Club. That's an opportunity there too, right?
Yes, an amazing opportunity. And
Yeah.
Could you imagine the community come together, every single one of those people in that Facebook group donating and hitting 50,000 and beating the pie auction number by $30,000? Wouldn't that be incredible?
That'd be amazing.
So over the next 24 hours, we want you to do a couple things. And the first is make a commitment to be a part of the auction, whether it is talking to your employer, talking to your family and saying, how much could we do if we donated this or bid on this? Do some research. If you go into the Facebook group, there's enough stories. I saw Mason County Press did a story on this. I believe Ludington Daily News did a story on this. And we did a story on this, obviously, that there's enough information floating out around there that you should be able to find enough information about the Lakeshore Food Club and how much of an impact it has on this community. And so, but there's a time frame. There's a deadline. And the deadline is 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Okay? And 6 p.m., it's just like the pie auction. It comes and goes really quick. And we got to make a difference. We got to hit that 4,500. But, man, this would be an incredible story if we could get those kind of numbers. Now, I'm not trying to be a pie-in-the-sky person here. Pie in the sky. Okay. But I think we could challenge people out there. And I bet that every single one of those people in that Facebook group, which we're asking you to join, okay, get on our Facebook page, click the link that's in the video, or our YouTube, click the link, join the Facebook group, and I bet there's everybody in that group knows somebody to make this happen. What do you think? Right?
I think it's entirely possible, and I look forward to seeing what we can do.
All right, sounds good.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, do we know, since everything's been processed, say businesses, whoever's going to bid on these, what if they wanted to know what's processed in it? Is there a certain amount of steaks? Is there, just how many pounds of ground beef, or is there a way that they could find out that information?
So I am meeting West Shore Bank at 10:30.
Okay, for that answer.
For that answer.
Okay, and that might be just on their on your 2023 Pigs for a Cause auction page.
Yes, we'll provide as much information on that as we can. Also, after the auction is completed, I'll work with whoever wins. If they just want a Christmas ham and want to donate the rest, we'll work with them to do
Okay.
whatever that they want to do with the meat, just to really
Make it more convenient.
make it more
and-
convenient and work with people and make this a good time and benefit as many people as possible.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And so people get out there, bid on that starting at noon today. And I would assume that there's some sort of I know they're bidding on the Facebook group, but I would assume Austin and what's his name? Cameron?
Connor.
Connor.
Are going to put some sort of, hey, this is where you bid on this particular photograph, I would assume.
Yes.
So that's going to be up there. And track your bids. I'm sure they'll give updates. We'll give updates here on the radio, and see what we can do and get to that $4,500 or more. I mean, that's just the benchmark, to hit that spot. But again, $1,500 for each, and if it's coming from Sanders, that it's going to be the best around. There's no doubt about that. So let's make it happen. You had mentioned West Shore Bank a couple of times. This wouldn't have happened without West Shore Bank bidding on those livestock items, that livestock during the Western Michigan Fair. So that happened, got to the Ludington Police Department asking the citizens and the community members here, not only in the Ludington area, but Mason County and Scottville and Mason County Eastern and Custer to make it happen. So, Mike, have we missed any details this morning?
I don't think we've missed any details, but I think if we look at the story as a whole, this was raised in Mason County. The animals were raised in Mason County. They went to the West Michigan Fair. West Shore Bank bid on them, processed them, donated them to us. This is a homegrown issue, and
Yep.
kind of no pun intended.
Keep it
there.
in the community.
But it's keeping in the community. It just shows how one small thing can grow and hopefully bless a lot of people. So in the end, we can go from an animal at the fair to blessing up to hopefully 75 families.
Yeah.
And it's all comes together with a partnership with you obviously, helping us out with this and getting the word out there, and West Shore Bank making the donation. And we just really appreciate all the community partnerships, the police
Yeah.
department.
All right. Well, let's make it happen. I'm sure the community will come together, and we understand that $1,500 at a minimum, or whatever it balances out to, for each item is going to be a lot for one family. So that's why I think it is part of coming together as a community, or challenging multiple family members or households or businesses and such. And I will say this, and I don't want it to be necessarily calling out, but there are businesses in this community that have a large amount of employees, and we don't see them involved in the Shop with the Cop and Shop with the Hero pie auction. We see, some of the credit unions and some of the tow companies and stuff like that. But let's see if we can get the word out to those management team members to say, hey, what can we do? And maybe it's what's the OxyChem as an example. OxyChem, how many employees do you think are at OxyChem? A couple hundred?
Probably.
Okay, a couple hundred.
Floorcraft.
Yeah. What if
Bigger-
everybody put $5 in a hat there, a collective $5? You'd have $4,500 for these items, and so let's make them the story as part of this effort. So there you go. There's some challenges. We'll have more details as we continue, but check it out on our Facebook page as well. The link to the what's the Facebook group name again?
2023 Pigs for a Cause auction.
All right, so make sure you're checking that out. Sergeant Hadman, thanks for coming in as always.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. 9:21 now on 102.7 WMOM.